Hello and welcome to Dropkick Chronicles episode 6. I am your man EH3, and today we will be talking about Extreme Rules. This was a great event, by the way. I might add, this was the greatest event I had seen in a long time because it had some bizarre moments. Hey. But we'll get to that in a moment. So this is WWE Extreme Rules recap and review for 2021. So let's get into it. The first match I want to get into was on the pre-show. It was Carmella versus Liv Morgan. I want to say that it was a pretty good match. Don't get me wrong. It was a pretty good match. Even though WWE on Peacock, which is NBC's streaming service, they had problems. They had audio problems. They had like commentary problems. You heard Spanish and English at the same time. That was not supposed to happen. But don't get me wrong, it's not supposed to happen. I was flabbergasted. I'm like, why is it a pay-per-view with two types of commentary, English and Spanish? That was crazy. So, I want to get into that match. So it says this: Carmella got off to a hot start, roughhousing Morgan around the ring. Morgan continued trying to fight back, but Carmella continued to maintain control until the match went outside the ring and managed to drive Carmella into the announce table. I watched it, and it was a pretty good match. Don't get me wrong. I feel like they can push Liv Morgan more to a SmackDown, at least one SmackDown Women's Championship, if not 2 or 3. That's what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. She really worked hard, but they've really just wasted her. Like, I don't know why they're wasting great talent when they can make stars. I've said this time and time again, like, there is no need to waste the people you have, and then they want to turn around and build new stars right on top of that. Like, I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's up? But still, that match, it was okay. You got a B- as a grade. And that was cool. That was the pre-show before the actual pay-per-view came on. So the next match I want to get into is the New Day versus Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, and Omos. So this match got a B. I want to say that this match was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see a 6-man tag. Here's the thing, though. Big E is the new WWE champion, and the WWE championship didn't get defended at Extreme Rules, but it did get defended on Raw. So pretty much I feel like Big E is going to hold the title for quite some time, but I hope they don't, screw him out of the title because, you've held it for 5 or 6 months, or it's not. Like, no. Here's the thing, people. Here's what I'm sick of. They build people up. Like I just got through saying, they build people up and then they want to tear them down. Either they tear them down character-wise or they tear them down title ring-wise. This isn't WWE. I think AEW is doing a great job with their champions. Not to bash WWE. Don't bash WWE, people. I don't do it. But I'm saying, here's the thing. I just want better for the current champions. I want better for the current stars going forward. Like, okay, the 6-man tag match at Extreme Rules was good. So, the New Day ended up winning that match, and so it was a few combustible elements, I might add. It was a few combustible elements, in the ring. Biggie being one of them. Omos being one of them too, or should I say 2 or 3. The man is big. He's like, I don't know his height. He's probably like 7 or more than 7 feet tall, over 300 pounds, over 400 pounds. I don't know. But I can say that it was good. So it all looked like the New Day was gonna lose. I think Kofi, was kind of getting a little fatigued in there. He was kind of getting a little fatigued, and so he was not really like wrestling like that. But I feel like the man had a little bit more in him, So they ended up defeating AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, and Omos. So, to elaborate more on that match, or in general, I hope Big E has the title reign that he desires because he deserves it. And so I just don't want to see, them just, take it away from him like that. Like they did Kofi, like they did Bianca Belair. Might I want to say that, and I've been saying this for a while now. So do you all remember the Shield? The Shield, they were a faction. It's Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. They were a faction. It's one of the greatest factions of all time, in my opinion. The Shield, every member of the Shield has won a WWE title at least one time. Some more times than others. So, with that being said, I hope that Xavier Woods gets at least if he don't get the championship, at least give the man the opportunity to win it. I feel like when they gave Kofi the opportunity to win the WWE Championship, it served a purpose. It was like, okay, cool. The New Day. Kofi is the first member of the New Day to win a WWE title, and Big E is the second member to win that very same championship. Now, it's up to Xavier Woods to be the third one. Be the third man, the final man to complete, the WWE Championship trilogy, I guess, if I wanted to call it that, of New Day, just like the Shield did a few years ago. So, here's what I want to say. Big E has the chance to hold the title for some time if done right, if pushed right. You don't want to, build somebody up, tear them down, and send them back to mid-card or send them back to Intercontinental United States or Tag Team Championship title pictures. So there's just like, it's like, man, just do great with them. That's all I say. I just say do great with them. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know if I was a WWE executive, I would want, my top guy like Big E or Roman Reigns to hold a championship for a year or more. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to CM Punk. He held the WWE Championship for 434 days. And Roman Reigns has not held the Universal Championship for that long yet. But he's on his way. I just don't think he should lose to Brock Lesnar at the upcoming event next month in October, Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. So, moving on, that was great to talk about. I want to move on to the Smackdown Tag Team Championship match, pitting the Usos and the Street Profits. So, that gotta be. The Usos defeated the Street Profits clean. They beat them clean. So they retained the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Shout out to the Usos. Day one-ish. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Usos. They are a part of the bloodline with the head of the table, the tribal chief, my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So let's talk about that. The bloodline has all the championships on Smackdown. I mean, they dominating Smackdown right now. That's all I can say. They are dominating Smackdown. They run Smackdown. They run WWE. They run every arena they ever appear in and wrestle in. They run it. And so at Extreme Rules, the Street Profits, they gave a pretty good fight. But your boy Montez Ford had that rib injury. And I'm like, whoop. It looked like he's going to I mean, he put up a good fight, but we all know the bloodline is not going to lose those championships no time soon. If they do, I'm going to be mad because I'm like, you got a good thing going, strike. That's all you got to do, strike. So, and that's the thing. You have a guy like Roman Reigns, the new rogue Roman. I'm talking about rogue. I'm talking about rogue. I'm talking about slam your head and keep slamming it into the announce table rogue. I'm talking about put you through a table with one hand rogue. You know what I'm saying? Cutting great promos. He didn't used to do that. I covered this time and time again. Roman Reigns is so great. He is a future WWE Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. I feel like, Roman Reigns didn't come from the indies. They didn't come from the independent scene. He came from, the Canadian Football League. He came from, he's Samoan. You know what I'm saying? He came from football. He didn't come from, he has a wrestling background because of family. He has a wrestling background because of that. He's, a generational wrestler. Like, don't get me wrong, like The Rock in Samoan Dynasty. But he himself as a wrestler, he himself as a star today didn't come from the indies like Seth Rollins, like Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. John Moxley. And have that. So pretty much for him to be who he is today, and I'm talking about he's come full circle. His career has made a full 360. It's come full circle. He is in his prime. You know what I'm saying? As a superstar and as a man, he's in his prime. I feel like winning the Universal Championship, and not just winning it, but holding it for over a year, he's made that championship seem like it's like the top title. Like everybody's gunning for the championship. Oh, type of, old school type of feel. Like, oh, I'm the man to beat. You know what I'm saying? I'm the man to beat. And here's the thing. He is the man to beat, people. He's the man to beat. I talk about it all the time. Like, this Roman Reigns is the best Roman Reigns of all time. Need I say more? Best Roman Reigns of all time. You can't ask for nothing else. But here's the thing. Aside from that, the Usos, are one of the best tag teams of our time. Today. They are 7-time tag champs. Current SmackDown tag team champions. And they've been holding down SmackDown for a long time. They call it the Uso Penitentiary. You got to keep your head on a swivel, because it ain't going to be no ghost creeping up. No, it's going to be the Usos. And I remember they old promos in 2017. They used to cut promos and stuff. And it was so great. And their feud with the New Day back then was great. I'm telling you, it was so great to where at the end of that feud, they was like, well, we got mad respect for y'all. Y'all do know how to get it done in the ring, and we respect that. You know what I'm saying? But now that's the past. It's the present. So as we move forward, they defeated the Street Profits to retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules this past Sunday. So, it was a nice, clean finish. Don't get me wrong. It was a nice, clean finish. There were no shenanigans and anything like that. They beat them fair and square. And man, I just want to talk about it. Like, we got main event Jey Uso. We got Jimmy Uso. And let's talk about main event Jey. Main event Jey had a great 2020. Main event Jey Uso had a great 2020. He had 2 Universal Heavyweight Championship matches, one at Hell in a Cell and one at Night of Champions. Yes, sir. He had one hell of a match with his cousin, Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, head of the table. So, yeah, man, I feel like within that, I want to move on to the Raw Women's Championship match. Yes. Like I said before, I barely watch Raw. I mean, there's no need. There's no need to watch Raw. But the only Raw I watched was when the Bloodline appeared a week ago on a Raw, on a WWE Monday Night Raw. That was the only time I watched it. I was like, whoop, the Bloodline's here. Cool. I'm watching it. Boom. Cool. So, with this match, you have Charlotte Flair versus the Twisted Bliss herself, Alexa Bliss. So, within that, during the match, Alexa Bliss, she got up to a good start. She took out Charlotte Flair on the outside of the ring with a dive. And then Charlotte Flair came back with an assault that included repeatedly slamming Alexa Bliss's head into the canvas. There was like this back and forth, but like most of the match, like at the beginning of the match, Alexa Bliss, she held on for a little bit. Then Charlotte Flair came back with that vicious attack, you know what I'm saying? And when somebody keep attacking you like that, man, there's no coming back from that. You might get a few licks in here and there, but I'm telling you, there is no coming back, because you finally be like, okay, I'm knocked down and I'm dragged out, I'm gone. I'm not winning this one. I see y'all at another date, another time. I'm not winning this one, I'm losing. That is exactly what happened. Charlotte Flair retained that championship this past Sunday, and it was all over for Alexa Bliss. Even at the end of the match, Charlotte Flair ripped the Lily doll to shreds. And I say to shreds, I mean actual shreds. I mean, I saw cushion, I saw arm, I saw stitching, everything. Nothing but, the face of Lily and her little hair from the doll itself, like a little Chucky doll. But let me not dwell on that. Anyway, so, I mean, man, they even said, winning wasn't enough for Charlotte. She wants to end Lily. # Extreme Rules. That was on Twitter. Man, that was crazy. The whole storyline was kind of deranged a little bit, and I was like, all right, they had a little bitty build up. That's what I call it, a little bitty build up. Cause championship matches back in the day. I'm talking about from Rock versus Stone Cold, WrestleMania 17. That match was built. Boy, that match was so built. I'm telling you, they literally used to build matches, and you never expect I really haven't seen a good build up to a match in years. But and then in WWE, Now I couldn't say different for AEW because AEW they do a good job with building their matches up too. They know, when to strike, how to strike, what to strike upon, what fans want, what fans need. Right now, CM Punk. Shout out to CM Punk. But yeah, talking about WWE Extreme Rules 2021, it gets me going. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw a lot of great action. There was a lot of good matches in the pay-per-view. So I want to move on from the Raw Women's Championship match to the United States Championship match, pitting Damien Priest versus Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy. Shout out to Jeff Hardy. He is a legend. He is still doing his thing. He is damn near 50 and still doing his thing. Shout out to him. Still jumping off the top rope, swanton bomb. I remember when Jeff jumped off of the Raw set in 2007. He was like, "Oh yeah, it was the last time we was using this. We are using the set because we're getting a different set." After this year, and like this when they moved into 2008, so it was like he jumped off the set onto Randy Orton, the old set, 2007 on Raw, and he kept giving great moments. After that, he I think a year later, he won either the world title. Yeah, he won the world title. Yeah, he won the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE. No, he won the WWE Championship, I think, in 2009. And then he left the company for a little bit, came back in 2017 at WrestleMania. But we're not going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about this U.S. title match. So, I seen that match and watched it. It was a great match, no doubt. It was a great triple threat match. It was a back and forth confrontation between Damien Priest, Sheamus, and Jeff Hardy himself. So Sheamus took out Hardy the moment the match began, quickly breaking the match down to one-on-one. Yeah, I feel like when they do that in triple threat, it kind of gives it like okay, all right, let's eliminate one man and leave, turning from a triple threat into a one-on-one match. That's good. That's good strategy, by the way. If you're a superstar, you want to do that because you don't want to fight two people at one time, especially if you're a heel against two baby faces. And, Damien Priest and Jeff Hardy, they respect each other. Jeff Hardy even said that Damien Priest reminds him. Jeff Hardy is reminded of like a Damien Priest is, how can I put this? Damien Priest is a younger version of Jeff Hardy. Yeah, basically. That's what he said out of his own mouth. People, I didn't say that. That's what Jeff Hardy said, the legend himself. So, moving on, Jeff Hardy quickly fought his way back into the match as chaos broke down at ringside, with all three men having moments of taking the others out. The action continued to swing wildly in standard WWE triple threat ways, with the men pairing off two at a time and each getting a bit of momentum for a near fall or two before Hardy hit a whisper in the wind on both men. That was pretty cool. That spot was pretty great. I watched it myself. He literally got up on top rope, hit a whisper in the wind to hit Sheamus and Damien Priest. In for a near fall on Sheamus. Hardy eventually went to the top rope in an attempt to hit a swanton on Priest, but Sheamus shoved him before hitting his own jumping knee for a 2 count. Hardy did eventually hit a swanton using the move to break a Priest pin on Sheamus. Okay. After a series of big moves from all three men, Priest rolled up Sheamus with a schoolboy pin to score the win to hold on to his championship. This was sloppy early before settling into a much better rhythm for a fairly hot finish. Without the early issues, it would have been a much more solid match after all. So the grade on this one has got a B. And from Sheamus from the top rope. And it was like, yeah. Twitter be going crazy during pay-per-view like months, like pay-per-view season. Twitter be going crazy, man. I'm telling you, Twitter is the hottest wrestling outlet, social media outlet of all time. It's better than Instagram. Twitter is hot. I'm telling you. I like fire. But nonetheless, that match was pretty good. It's just a little, it got out to a little rocky start. That's all. But moving on, I want to move on to the Smackdown Women's Championship match. And y'all gonna like the outcome. It's gonna be a little questionable, you know, because it involves a return. But we're gonna get into it. So it was Becky Lynch, who's the champ, who is the champ, versus Bianca Belair, who was the champion. Before we get into that, I want to just say that WWE did wrong by taking the title off Bianca Belair to a 26-second win at SummerSlam. I'm still mad about that. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm like, you could have done better than that. Could have just had to come back, put the move on it without a match for the title. Could have had, you could have did that. Or something. Yeah, come on, man. You really had to have an impromptu SmackDown Women's Championship match? Wow, okay. And they could have gave that opportunity to Liv Morgan, like I said. Come on, man. Anyway, so Lynch extended her hand for a handshake, as she has for weeks, before trying to sneak in a manhandle slam, only to nearly eat a kiss of death from Belair. Belair put Lynch on the defensive with a big slam and a splash for an early near fall. Lynch used Belair's hair to take the match over, pulling her back over the top rope to score a near fall. That's pretty smart. You know, you got somebody with long Rapunzel-like hair. Pull it. Yeah, it's pretty much straightforward, people. Pull the hair. So if you want somebody to slam down, you know how you be watching. Like when the women fight, man, that is a pay-per-view. Because I'm telling you, they pull hair and it's over with. It's like two cats fighting. They pulling hair and it's over with. But moving on, man. Yeah. So she pulled her hair. So both women went back and forth with near falls before heading outside the ring, where Becky Lynch was able to counter Bianca Belair's slam to slam. A Bianca Belair, excuse me, slam to slam the challenger into the ring steps. Lynch tried several times to lock up Bianca Belair's arm, but Belair fought back and hit a big spine buster for a 2 count to nearly win the title. Belair continued to fight back until she put Lynch up for the kiss of death when Sasha Banks ran in. Yep, you know what? That's exactly what I wanted to talk about. Sasha Banks running into the ring and breaking it up, and they rung the bell. It was all type of chaos. Sasha Banks, she done dropped both of them with a backstabber. I'm sitting up here like, okay, you chose Extreme Rules for her to return. You could have, but you know, it probably wouldn't make no sense for her to return that crown jewel. But hey, it happened, right? But Sasha Banks, look, I feel like she's not done with the SmackDown Women's Championship, and who wouldn't be after she lost her title to Bianca Belair, the former champion, and then Bianca Belair, of course, lost her title to Becky Lynch. So, yep, of course, Becky retained because it was, it was due to interference from Sasha Banks. That match got to be. So I feel like the last match I want to talk about is Roman Reigns versus the Demon. Not regular Finn Balor, but the Demon Finn Balor in an Extreme Rules match for the Universal Heavyweight Championship. So, oh man, this match was something else, bro. I'm telling you. Oh my God. So let's go. So Balor came out fast and raked at the eyes and face of Roman Reigns in the early going, taking advantage of the lack of rules. Of course, you know, when it's like no disqualification, Extreme Rules, you can do anything you want. You can low blow somebody and they're not gonna care. I don't know why like when Roman Reigns pinned him, and his arm was like under, like between Roman Reigns' legs, his arms, and then he low blowed Roman Reigns. Their fans like, oh, hold up, he low blowed. I said, first of all, this is a Extreme Rules match. Referee, even if he sees it, he's not gonna count it. I mean, man, you can use weapons and everything. Like, come on. This is legit. This type of matches I like. This is the only Extreme Rules match on the card. You know, now one of my favorite moments in the match is when Damien Finn Balor, he pulled out what looked like a whole bunch of kendo sticks. It was I think it was like something was wrapped around the kendo sticks, and it was like, oh yeah. Oh, he about to beat. I was like, man, whoop his butt. Whoop him. Because, ooh. Hold on. He got a whole bunch of kendo sticks and he done taped them with this little, like it's like artsy type red, black, and white art. You know, colors of the Demon, Finn Balor. Which that persona is so great. But they handed the Demon Finn Balor his first loss. And so Roman Reigns retained the Universal Championship, which might have been a miraculous or a weird or bizarre way. That's why I said the ending of this was going to be so bizarre. That's crazy to me that when Demon Finn Balor got posted up to give a coup de grace, and shout out to him for the, like, it's so great. It was so crazy, but it was so great at the same time. Before I talk about the finish, I want to add this little comment. I'm telling you, it was crazy. So the Usos came out there, right? And so I'm watching it, and I'm like, dad, the Usos out here, they're attacking this man. And okay, they about to end the match because he about to, like, you know, roll him back in there, and Roman Reigns about to pin him just like that. You thought. But this is what actually happened. They attack him, right? And then, you know, Damien Finn Balor starts fighting back. He gets rid of the Usos. Then he you know, he's tired from trying to eliminate they pesky selves. And so, lo and behold, Roman Reigns is like, he perched, man, and he speared him through the barricade. Oh my God, that was crazy. He speared him through the barricade, right? They have the instant replay like it's the NFL. So he speared him through the barricade. He's knocked down. Roman Reigns is down. He don't got no energy. And so they played the little heartbeats from Damien Finn Balor's theme music, right? The little heartbeats and stuff. I'm sitting up here watching it. This man over here damn revived himself. And he over here doing this, like they just said, clear. That's crazy. And I'm like, they sitting up here playing his music, right? And so he got up with the quickness, which is like, I'm flabbergasted. Nobody's ever done that. Got up real quick after getting speared through a barricade. That hurts. That hurts. I'm telling you. But anyway, Roman Reigns looked up. He's like, "Whoa, how you get up from?" And then he drop kicked him. And Roman Reigns flew. He hit the table. The table broke. And I also want to say that. And then he got him up. He rolled him into the ring. He perched. He get up on the top rope. He's perched and ready, like looking like a hawk. He ready. I'm talking about he ready to drop the coup de grace on this man. I'm talking about drop the meanest coup de grace. The meanest. But anyway, he getting ready to drop the coup de grace. And then, oh, wait, lo and behold, the damn top rope then snapped. I was like, what in the supernatural is this? They didn't snap the top rope. The man was about to, I'm talking about hit him with the coup de grace. They fiend and snapped the top rope. And let me tell you, that was so surprising. And they was like, oh, yeah, Roman Reigns and his tag team partner, the return of God. If you don't know what that wrestling reference means, yeah, get your references up. You remember in 2006 when I think when Shawn Michaels couldn't wrestle Mr. McMahon, I think it was at either Backlash or some pay-per-view event in 2006. You remember, I'm telling you, you remember like Vince McMahon literally wrestled God. They had a whole entrance. When he wrestled God. I was like, oh, God couldn't complete the match. So you're a winner, Mr. McMahon. I was like, man, how you gonna have him wrestle God? Excuse me, Lord, but doggone, come on. Really? They gonna have him wrestle God anyway. But the thing is, the wrestling reference is Extreme Rules 2021, is that it was bizarre. It was like it was supernatural. Like it wasn't meant for Demon Finn Balor to hit the coup de grace on Roman Reigns, because he would have done it. He would have won the match. He would have been Universal Champion. Now, mind you, Demon Finn Balor had never lost a match. That persona had never really lost a match because he didn't really do that persona like every week or nothing like that. He came out as Finn Balor, as the regular Finn Balor from, Ireland. So they gave the Demon Finn Balor his first loss ever. So and they brought it back just for him to lose. But it was against Roman Reigns, and they know they have something hot. They're not having Roman Reigns, lose his Universal Heavyweight Championship anytime soon. So and I'm sure he's gonna defeat Brock Lesnar at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia, I think in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, I think next month. And that's crazy, man. I'm talking about the top rope and snapped. I was like, that's crazy. Dang, they don't want this man to be great. They don't want him to win another Universal Championship. The reason why I don't think they really pushed. Yeah, they didn't push Finn Balor to another Universal Championship. Actually, no, that's a lie. He did face Brock Lesnar one time for the Universal Championship. That was when it was on Raw. It was a red championship. Now it's blues on SmackDown. But yes, Finn Balor has not gotten an opportunity in quite some time. So, man, I swear, bro, I'm like, whoa, that's the most bizarre thing that happened to the ring since I seen Big Show and Mark Henry wrestle for the World Championship at Vengeance 2011, and the ring snapped. But then again, even after that was Big Show and Braun Strowman, I think in 2017. Yep. It sure was. And that's crazy. The top rope, people? That's bizarre. I'm like, hold up. I'm sitting up here, my heart is beating. I'm on the edge of my seat, watching TV. Like, my God, man. But, yes, I am ready to wrap that review up. And I want to talk a little bit about my list of the top 10 wrestlers in 2021 so far. So, as I get into it, here's the thing. This is my list. I like talking about lists, and I even did a like my own little wrestling Mount Rushmore. I think in WWE, I might do another one in wrestling, period, and to see like who's who's at the top of the game. You know what I'm saying? But starting at the first number 10. Let me elaborate. Number 10, and this is pretty hard. Top 10, it's top 10, no doubt. This is my era of wrestling too. Top 10, I go with Randy Orton. Here's why. Well, Randy Orton is a 14-time world heavyweight champion, an all-around future WWE Hall of Famer. He's homegrown. Randy Orton is a third-generation superstar. Cowboy Bob, or Orton Sr. and Orton Jr. So basically, his grandfather and father wrestled, possibly for the same company he wrestles for now. So that's why he's a third-generation superstar. Randy Orton is a legend killer. He's Apex Predator, the Viper. Yes, sir. And, he's like, well, I was the legend killer, but now I'm simply a legend. Boom. So, Roman Reigns. Randy Orton is, I'm talking about vicious, man. Hit you with an RKO, you're gone just like that. Gone. 3 most destructive letters in WWE. RKO. Yes, sir. And, he's at number 10, because there's a whole lot of other superstars got a list too. But for the illustrious number 9, I would like to say oh man, this is gonna be really it's a dilemma, folks. Trust me. Picking like off top of the dome, I didn't even make the list. I just was like, okay, here's my list. I'm naming, but I will go with Eddie Guerrero. Yes, he's in the top 10. Don't question why he's at number 9. People like, well, you're number 9, man. Could have put him at number 1. I say, yeah, we know that. We just talking about all around. At least he's in the top 10. Don't get me wrong. But Eddie Guerrero is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers of all time because he transcended the business, He's a former WWE champ, and, sadly, he passed away in 2005. But it's okay. He's never been forgotten. Oh, yeah. It's never been forgotten. One of the greatest of all time. Never been forgotten. Which leads me to number 8. Number 8 is Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit. Yes, Chris Benoit. Also great. Rest in peace to both Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit. Two great technical, two great wrestlers. Eddie Guerrero was more of a high flyer, and Chris Benoit was more technical. Yes, because he's Canadian, and not just because of that, because he's so great. You know what I'm saying? All around technical wrestler. He can slap a cripple across face on you in a minute. I'm telling you. Number 7 is. Oh man, this is. Who can I think of? Okay, AJ Styles. I'll say AJ Styles for number 7. Number 7, AJ Styles. This might be a little jumpy, you know what I'm saying, with picking the numbers and picking the rankings and everything. So AJ Styles is he comes from the indie scene. AJ Styles, fun fact, during the Attitude Era, was it Attitude Era or was it like the 2000s? I think late 90s, early 2000s, AJ Styles actually appeared. I think he was in a dark match or tryout match in WWE back then. and they was like, well, his style was like not for them. I mean, it took that man what 18 years to come to that? What, no, 18 years to actually, be in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like, not just be like try out. Like, but I feel like AJ Styles during that time, he had to go off and just be like, okay, all right, I gotta work hard, I gotta do this, I gotta get better at being a superstar, get better at being a wrestler. And he did it. He went to TNA. TNA had started up. He had been in TNA. He had been in I want to. Did he go to Ring of Honor? I don't think so, but it was Impact, and it was definitely New Japan Pro Wrestling. He wrestled in Japan and wrestled in Mexico. The man's wrestled all around the world, and AJ Styles is great. Former is it IGWP champion, world champion, and former NWA world champion too, Impact world champ, TNA, if you will. And former WWE champion 2 times. So yes, I feel like AJ Styles is so great that they can give him another WWE championship, but I don't think he really needs it. But then again, they can strike like that, and have him just go back to that mode. You know what I'm saying? I want him to go back to that mode he was in 2016 and in 2018. Oh my God, those AJ Styles. Oh my God, 2016 and 2018, 2017, AJ Styles. It was top AJ Styles, I'm telling you. But, leads me to number 6, which is, I don't want to say any type of other wrestler, but I do want to say this one. Jeff Hardy. And I know I probably said top 10 wrestlers in 2021, but it's pretty much, this list sounding like, you know what? Not even 2021. It's just all around my list. So Jeff Hardy's number 6. Legend, former WWE and world champ, former Intercontinental champ, former tag team champion. I think he also is a former Intercontinental champion. Yes. All around, Jeff Hardy is a legend. The man's a daredevil. The charismatic enigma. And for those of you who don't know, they call him that because he is a daredevil, and it doesn't matter what height. You jump on anything. This man jumped off a damn near 25-foot ladder on the CM Punk. I think it was 2009. Oh my God. That was crazy. Oh my God, that was crazy. It was Swanton Bomb all the way up there. Oh my God. But yeah. That's the man that take risks. And you talk about taking risks. He been taking risks since the late 90s. He been taking risks. The biggest moment, Jeff Hardy ever had is when or one of the biggest moments I ever liked out of that. Again, I described it earlier, but it was when it was in 2007 when he hit the swanton off the set, off the side panel of the set. On Raw, onto Randy Orton. And boy, he was carted away. He went to the hospital. I was like, dang, you content with jumping off high stuff like this? But, I feel like, well, he's been doing it for a long time now, so why quit? Anyway, but here's the thing. I ain't even tell you number 5. Number 5, I feel like this is a tough one, too. Because The last four are gonna be great. So number 5, top 10 is The Rock. Yeah. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Anyway, The Rock is a movie star, as we all know. But before he was a movie star, The Rock was a WWE champion. The Rock was WWE superstar. So, here's the thing. The Rock has, he's done it all. He has main evented WrestleMania. He's won the Royal Rumble. Done it all. He's Grand Slam champ. In the time that he wrestled, people, you gotta understand. With time, championships changed too. Because back in the day, they didn't have a universal title. You know what that was? But they only had the World Heavyweight title, which was in WCW, and WWE had the WWE title, the same title they got today, except WWE bought WCW, and boom. The Rock even in during the 2001 invasion between WWE, ECW, and WCW, but except ECW and WCW came together to form the Alliance. Now, The Rock won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, when it was still called that, WCW title, in 2001 from Booker T at SummerSlam. Yep. Man, and it all comes to a head now because, like, earlier that year, he was at WrestleMania, 17? Going against Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was a WWE. I'm like, dang, he was a WWE champion, lost the championship, then won, then won the World Heavyweight Champion, the WCW World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam that same year. I was like, okay, he's back on top, no doubt. Because Rock was a top star, and in 2001 was when the Scorpion King came out. Yes, that was The Rock's first major motion picture. So, and with that, man, it was full steam ahead. He did that. He did Walking Tall. He did The Gridiron. Rock has done so many movies from that time until today. Right until today, he's been a movie star for like the last 20 years. He had finished. It's crazy. He had finished. He was out promoting. What I want to say. He was out promoting Scorpion King during that time. I think he lost the championship. He's out promoting the Scorpion King, and he came back just in the nick of time. Just in time for WWE versus the Alliance. So the Alliance again is WCW and ECW joining forces. Take on WWE, the superpower of wrestling, superpower of pro wrestling. So during that time, Rock was out. He was out for like a few months. He was promoting the Scorpion King, and so he came back to face the Alliance along with 4 more other superstars in traditional Survivor Series match. And actually, I can't wait for the event this year. It's always in November during Thanksgiving, or either before Thanksgiving. So, that being said, number 5 is The Rock. I know that was lengthy, but I love The Rock. He's done so many things, and I had to cover that match, and I had to cover a lot more other things that The Rock has done in his career, not just in wrestling, but in Hollywood as well. So, moving on to number 4. Number 4 is Bryan Danielson. And I say this because that's, Bryan and it was Daniel Bryan when he worked for WWE, but now he's in AEW. So yes. Yep. Boom. So, Bryan Danielson, Mr. Yes Movement, his past persona. Now, he's the American Dragon, like he was before he was in WWE. Actually, Bryan Danielson had a 2003 WWE match against John Cena at Velocity. I remember that. I was like a kid. I was like 5 watching that. And so Velocity, I think Velocity would always come on either after SmackDown or before SmackDown. It was the same set as SmackDown, except it was like a green aesthetic. And SmackDown, of course, was blue. Raw was red. So, yeah. Bryan Danielson, man, he's all around technical wrestler as well. He's a submission specialist. He's from Aberdeen, Washington. So, man, the man might be, short. He might be small, but it don't matter. He is an A-plus player, and people literally tried to undermine him. It's like, oh, he's not a big guy, but I'm like, well, he can get the job done. He can win the championship. You know what I'm saying? He's a former WWE world champ, Like, he can't win the big one. What? Anyway, but he's number 4 because, he's in the top 10. He's one of the top guys. So, which leads me to number 3. I want to say number 3 is the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Everybody had a thrill watching him when we were growing up, because he would always he was beer swilling, he was cursing. He made wrestling watchable. I'm talking about really watchable. Like, he made it digestible. He made you want to call your boss and either curse him out or put in a 2-week notice or call in sick. Because I'm telling you, back then, it was so relatable, man. Like, you can relate to the blue collar worker, that the character that he portrayed on TV. You can relate to that, because who ain't gonna call out their tyrannical boss? And every week on Raw, everybody tuned in. It's like, oh, how is Stone Cold gonna call Mr. McMahon out this week? You know what I'm saying? You want to ask those questions, because, like, dang, how would I call out my boss? I mean, I would get fired, but he gets paid for doing it. He gets to whoop the holy hell out of his boss. I can't. But still, it's still watchable. You know what I'm saying? Like, Vince McMahon was getting his ass whooped all the time, which is crazy. I'm sitting up here like, man, yo, dang. It didn't get. I mean, I remember like the first stunner he gave Vince McMahon on Raw in 1998. Probably either I wasn't born yet, or I was, and I was just a little seedling or anything. But yeah, I feel like with that, there is no limits to the TV. There is no limits to, like, oh yeah, we gonna say, hell, we gonna say damn, we gonna say, we gonna say all, SOB on TV. They gonna say all that, we gonna say this on TV. Before Stone Cold came into that character, WWE was like, oh, it was all cartoony. They had the old WWE logo. I'm not gonna say that letter, but they had the old WWE logo. It was like gold and blue. Then when the Attitude Era came in '97, they switched to the little WWE logo you see today, except it was way more edgier than it is today, because today it was just more it's more technological. I think it's more new for new audiences and stuff, because you are in 2021. It's not 1997 anymore. So or not 2002 anymore either. But still, there's a thing. I feel like, yeah, Stone Cold started, along with some more episodes, he started the thing of edgy TV, edgy television, edgy merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Edgier matches. edgier storylines. Come on, man. He started that. And I feel like with that, they kind of really need to bring that edgy TV back. They don't have that today. Shout out to Stone Cold. He actually has the Broken Skull Sessions on it's now on Peacock. WWE on Peacock used to be WWE Network, and they moved to NBC. So he's number 3. Number two. CM Punk. Why did I say number 2? Because number 1 is he deserves number 1 spot. But for what he's done for this industry, pro wrestling. So CM Punk, as you know, CM Punk is a wrestling revolutionary. And CM Punk, I'm telling you, is the man. He is in AEW currently. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Cult of Personality. Mr. Wrestling Revolutionary. He just had a match with Darby Allin at AEW All Out. And man, was that match good. If you haven't watched it, watch AEW All Out. I think it's on Fight TV. It's a great pay-per-view. It's a good find, a good watch. You should go view it. So I'm going to get into a little backstory about CM Punk. CM Punk, in 2005, CM Punk left Ring of Honor. CM Punk comes from the indies of pro wrestling as well. You know, he is the type to, you know, say that, okay, he's the type of guy that come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? He comes from Chicago, Illinois. CM Punk, he comes from the indies, the independent scene of pro wrestling. Like when you coming from the independent scene of pro wrestling, it ain't a red carpet. You know what I'm saying? And really, when you first make your way to main roster, and yeah, it ain't a red carpet either. You just getting your foot in the door. You just getting in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, take a video game for instance. You know, it's like RP. You start at 0. You know what I'm saying? RP is like your levels, and everything you have. And then when you level up, you get points. You know what I'm saying? You win championships, you win gold, you win you level up from bronze to, you know, the gold to, the bronze to silver to gold to diamond. Yeah. Anyway, CM Punk is a wrestling revolutionary simply because he revolutionized pro wrestling. I keep saying this. People like, oh, why you describing it like that? It's not even like that. It's like, well, it is like that. CM Punk, he's the last time you seen, bro, the last time we seen a edgy character on TV that was really to like take no prisoners, smash mouth in your face. If you kick him, he'll kick back. You know what I'm saying? Put a move on you like that to go to sleep. The last time I seen that, it was a man I just got through describing. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold, CM Punk's is our Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because the era I grew up in, I was still growing up in as a teenager, the CM Punk era, 2011, you know what I'm saying? Like that was 2011, 2012, that was the CM Punk era, and he was WWE champion, 2013, I think it was what? Well, it wasn't 2013. He lost it at the Royal Rumble in 2013, yes. So, the CM Punk era, I was a teenager. I was a teenager at that time, like 13, 14. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was WWE champion for 434 days. Before, like, he had passed some great championship reigns. John Cena's championship reign, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? That's when they want to focus more on title reigns. He wanted to focus more on title reigns. You know what I'm saying? Like, CM Punk was very smart. He's very smart as a man. He's very smart as a wrestler. He was like, man, you need to watch the show. I do and say whatever I want to every week. I show up, I wrestle, I leave. I show up, I wrestle, I leave. That's what he do. You know what I'm saying? He's in AEW now. You know, will CM Punk win another world championship? I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, he's great. He revolutionized the game. Now, moving on to one of the greatest spots of all time, the greatest spot on this list, number one. And I don't want to show favoritism, but then again, scratch that. Number one is Roman Reigns, people. Roman Reigns is the head of the table and my tribal chief. He's also the reigning, defending, undisputed, uncontroverted, universal heavyweight champion. Yes. So Roman Reigns, you know his story. He started in WWE with the Shield along with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Branched out to be a star. Here's the thing. He had a little debacle with the crowd for years, man. I'm talking about until he turned rogue. And today, people, they cheering and booing. I'm like, well, dang, okay, cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But people, they was I'm talking about it's legit cheers, but he's a heel now. Finally they're turning him, like they turned him heel, which I'm like, great. Here's the thing. They should have turned Roman Reigns heel in 2017 after the WrestleMania match with him and the Undertaker. And he was like, oh, this is my yard now. And then they booed the living daylights out of Roman. Oh, my God. They booed that man out of the arena. And it was like, man, you know what? Just don't even cut a promo. Just say something and leave. Or don't even say nothing at all. They legit had 90s boos. 90s wrestling boos, man. You say something wrong, boos all through the night. You know what I'm saying? The crowd took over the show. But then again, once he turned heel last year, he came back at SummerSlam 2020. He turned heel. He comes back with this shirt. You know what I'm saying? I kind of forgot what it said. It says something and leave. Yeah, wreck everyone and leave. That shirt, oh my God. Then it was like show up and win. Then he finally got the shirt and we started cutting promos. He was like, oh, head of the table. Oh, yep. Everything that man says, they make a shirt out of it. They even made a shirt for him for WrestleMania. From WrestleMania this year. It said, smash them, stack them, and pin them. It'd be like, I'm going to smash you and send you packing. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to smash you and send you packing. He be saying that to everybody. Even at contract signings, man. He be saying that to everybody. I'd be like, man, look, here's the thing. Okay, you going to smash me? And you going to stack me and you going to pin me? And you going to think I ain't going to say nothing about that, sir? Okay, we're gonna see what happens at WrestleMania. We're going to see what happens when I pin you and I take that Universal title away from you. Not saying that would be my rebuttal for you got that, as a promo cutter, you know what I'm saying? Like as a talker, as a speaker on a microphone in pro wrestling, I want to say sports entertainment, but then again, in pro wrestling period, you have to have a rebuttal. But if there is some promo, you like John Cena and you burying people, and sometimes John Cena don't have to even bury, you know what? Yeah, why didn't I put him on this list? He's a bonus, people. You know what? He's a bonus. Yeah, top 10 and a bonus. John Cena is a bonus. Now, I'm not even going to get to John. I done put everybody on here but John. But anyway, yeah, Roman Reigns is number one, no doubt. But as I close, it's been real. You know why it's been real? Because this was Dropkick Chronicles episode 6 with your boy EA Street. Make sure you go like, comment, and subscribe right here on YouTube. Dropkick Chronicles. Peace.